Hey, this is Joe Blasco for MUA TV, and we have a Who Is and a What Is combination show today with Mr. Tom Kish and his skincare line. We'll be right back with Tom right after this. Don't go away. Welcome back, and Joe Blasco again, and we have Mr. Tom Kish. Tom, thanks for being with us today.
Thank you.
We have a worldwide audience who is just waiting to get to know you and to find out all about your skincare products. Let's start a little bit about you. All right, let's start talking about you a bit, so that we get to know who you are and where you're from and all that sort of thing. How you got into working with and manufacturing and producing skincare lines. Where are you from?
Michigan.
Michigan.
Yeah.
And what brought you to Hollywood? Firstly, what were you doing in Michigan?
Well,
you weren't doing skincare in Michigan.
No, I was just growing up.
You're growing up.
Yeah.
That's a great place to grow up, I suppose.
Yeah, it was at that time.
Or
yeah.
not?
Yeah, the Midwest. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Did you think that you would stay there forever and work in film or television or?
No, I graduated almost a year early. Was making my plans to leave. It's a small town.
Mm-hmm. What town in Michigan?
I was born in Flint, Michigan. Lived in a little suburb called Clio.
Clio.
Yeah.
I've not heard of that. Now, when did you realize that you wanted to get into skincare, makeup?
Yeah, I started in makeup and then segued into the skincare.
How did you start in makeup?
I say it picked me. I didn't pick it. You know, I went to the Air Force for 4 years. I lived in Montana. And when I got out of the Air Force, I moved to Arizona.
Were you a pilot?
No.
No.
No, a flight security controller for nuclear missiles.
Whoa! A flight security controller for nuclear missiles?
Controlling the flights. No.
Oh my God, you've gone from controlling nuclear missile flights to skincare. Now there's a jump. Yeah. I love it. Well, I don't know whether or not we should talk about that. Maybe there's some kind of security clearance you would have to get in order for you to talk about that. So I don't want to get you in trouble, and I certainly don't want people checking up on me, and I want to be looking over my shoulder for the next 4 years. Okay, so you could start in makeup in Michigan, correct? Did you start doing makeup
I was
in
a
Michigan?
watercolorist, a painter.
You were?
Yeah. So I painted all through my childhood and sold every painting I ever painted.
Really?
I go to like the little shows around, the little fairs, and sell my watercolors I paint on rag paper. And so that's where I learned the blending of colors. And, you know, makeup was easy for me. It was like a natural from the very first moment I did it.
Yes. Now, when you say you paint with watercolors on rag paper, what exactly is rag paper, and how does that work?
It's a thick texture of paper, you know, knotty, grainy, and
can that be purchased in an art supply store?
Yes,
and that's what you ask for, rag paper.
Yes.
Okay, and what type of watercolors do you use? For you, you know, because there are makeup artists that do more than makeup as you do.
Right.
And so we'll give them that information as well.
Yeah. Just pigments and water. And
is there a specific brand that you purchase? I did a tour of the Sam Flax art supply store in Orlando, and we're going to be going to the one here in Hollywood. Actually, it's not in Hollywood; it's in Westwood. So, you know, we show all of the watercolors because the non-toxic watercolors, and most of them are non-toxic, can be used for makeup purposes also. Yeah. So what can you think of a brand of watercolor?
It's been so long ago, I don't remember, but that name sounds familiar that you just said. Flax.
Sam Flax, yeah.
Do they make watercolors?
No, well, I don't know that they have their own brand, but I know that they have, you know, fantastic stores. Yeah. And they sell all form of art supplies. Now, I'd love to see some of your watercolor. What's the subject matter?
I always painted women.
Yeah.
I had kind of a lonely childhood. That's how I expressed myself in painting.
I see.
So, you know, I lived in a foster home for a year. I kind of was, you know, had just sort of a rough childhood. I'll leave
Right.
it that.
Right.
But I was
It's, you know,
introverted.
It's you know, honestly, you know, you're bringing this up and you're a little apprehensive about discussing it, but it seems that, you could correct me if I'm wrong, you people out there who are watching religiously will attest to the fact that of just about, I'd say 70% of everyone that I interview that's in makeup or in the arts has come from maybe a you know, a troubled childhood, or you know, their mother and father were divorced. Or, you know, it's a strange phenomenon. In what way do you think that influenced you to go into the arts, or helped push you,
My
or
childhood.
did it? Yeah, your childhood.
I think it made me ultra sensitive, and maybe I don't really know.
Well, how do you go from being ultra sensitive to monitoring nuclear bombs?
Well,
There's a jump.
yeah, very disciplined.
Yeah,
I worked 3 days on, had 6 days off. That's a kind of stress that I was under.
right.
So, but with the makeup, let me tell you, I got out of the Air Force. I went to Arizona, and I actually I went to the Borgata there. I was going to go out for happy hour with a friend, and she owned the makeup stations there. And I was waiting for her to finish. We were going to go out, and I was sitting there. I had a couple glasses of wine, relaxing, and I saw this palette. I'd never been in a salon like that. I'm from the small town, lived in Montana for 4 years in the military, and so, you know, I saw this palette with colors on it and brushes that looked like paints, looked like my old watercolors. And I said to this gal, I said, "Let me do your makeup." And after having a couple glasses of wine, and I just like went and did her face.
And you had never done makeup
Never
before?
did makeup. And I highlighted and low lighted, recessed, create shape through, you know, shadowing and things, and really, you know, just a natural with it. And
That came from working with water.
with paints, yeah.
Right. And how did that help you to understand more of what you had to do? You had never done makeup before, but you had this knowledge of watercolor.
Mm-hmm.
What part of that knowledge enabled you to have the confidence to jump into that and to experiment?
Well, like you take a plain white sheet of paper and you draw a line, a circle, and you can create a convex shape by shadowing. So that's the same thing with the lips, and you know, I can make an American eye look Asian and an Asian eye look American.
Yes.
Just by changing the shape of it with that degrees of shadowing.
Right. So it's all about your understanding, of highlighting and shading, and that you acquired from working with watercolor.
Right.
As an artist on a two-dimensional
Mm-hmm.
medium.
So I say it picked me, I didn't pick it, because there are two women sitting on this bench watching me do this, you know, my friend's makeup, that we were going to go out afterwards. And this girl liked to make money. That's who she was, you know. I was just having fun. These two women walked up to the station and said, "Would you do our makeup?" And she goes, "Yes, he will," like that. And so there
she
I was.
volunteered you
She
into
volunteered
the
me.
profession.
Yeah,
How great is that?
and I did both their
She
makeup.
had confidence in you.
Yeah.
She had watched you do watercolor, perhaps, and thought maybe, wow, he's pretty good at this. Maybe he could do a good makeup, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you came to California from Michigan. Did you come directly? Or where did you go from Michigan? Did you go to
Well, I went to Air
Arizona?
Force for
You went to
Montana.
the Air Force.
Then Arizona is where I built my company.
I see.
And then I actually, when I moved to San Diego, I took 3 years off work.
So you went to San Diego.
Mm-hmm.
Now, when you went to you didn't work in San Diego?
I took 3 years. Well, I ran my company,
Yes.
but that's wasn't like not working. My
Okay.
manufacturing company.
Okay, now your manufacturing company is the skincare line, is that correct?
Right.
Okay, and what is the skincare line called?
Kish, my last name.
Okay, Kish.
Mm-hmm.
Kish Skincare.
Yeah, Tom Kish Skincare.
I see, excellent. I've got it back here. We're going to be discussing each one of these products. I love the bottling. I mean, all of the packaging is really beautiful. I especially like this bottle here. And what is this, Tom?
It's resurface.
Resurface? And what exactly does this do?
That's glycolic, lactic, malic, and salicylic acids. And let me show you. It just unscrews here. And then you just push that top in like that.
Oh, I see.
So that's a serum, alpha hydroxy serum.
Excellent.
It's the strongest you can sell to a consumer. It's
Really?
a 12% acid and a 2 pH.
Whoa.
So it's
Does this come from your nuclear background? We're gonna go over all of these products, but we're gonna have to take a little break right now. Okay. And we'll be right back right after this. Don't go away. Welcome back. Joe Blasco here with Tom Kish, and we've just been discussing the nuclear components of his alpha hydroxy liquids here. It actually kind of looks like a little nuclear bomb. An atom bomb there. I love it. I love it. Tell me this. You started doing watercolor. You went into the Air Force. You found yourself having to go to San Diego to not work. Mm-hmm. So you went there to get away from something.
Yeah.
What were you getting away from?
Well, I had something personal that sort of happened in my life that sort of, was challenging. And so I just, I thought I was ready to retire actually at age 36, if you can imagine. But, I'm way too A-type personality for that.
Right.
But I call it my first adolescence. I took 3 years off and I traveled and did things that other people do in their 20s.
How
that
great.
I never did.
Am I prying too much?
Could be.
Sorry. That's my nature. I feel that you really have worked very, very hard. And if you were able to go to San Diego to get away from work, you must have worked very hard at that point. And you were very successful.
Yes.
At that point to be able to somewhat hide from the whole hustle and bustle of the makeup and skincare community. So you finally went to you finally came away from San Diego, and when did you know that you were ready to leave and to come back to work?
When I moved to LA,
Mm-hmm.
a lot of stimulus here.
Mm-hmm. What do you like about? I mean, you like you say there's a lot of stimulus in Los Angeles. What did you immediately work in makeup when you came to Los Angeles, or what did you do when you came to LA?
I bought a home that had a recording studio in it, and I converted the recording studio into a skincare and makeup studio.
Okay.
And which was really wonderful. What a great way to work.
Right. Right.
And
are you a musician also, or did you keep?
I love music. I have it all set up, the recording studio. And
so there is a recording studio. There's a recording studio in his salon, in your salon.
Yes, on the south wing of my home.
Wow.
Yeah, and so people leave with their list of products and list of music.
Right. So you do music as well. You
just
create
for fun.
music.
Just for fun.
Just for fun.
Yeah.
Matthew Mungle does that. Matthew Mungle is a DJ, so to speak.
Yeah.
And he loves mixing tunes.
Yeah, I love that too.
Yeah, that's great. That's really well. It goes along with creativity, All right, now tell me about your makeup career. What was the first makeup that you did? Where did you work for the first time?
I was at the Borgata, and these two women that were watching me do my friends, asked me to do their makeup. I did their makeup, and they lived here in L.A. They owned Chapman Freeborn, these jets that fly Madonna around and all these famous stars. And when I did their makeup, they purchased every single thing that I put on them and every brush I used. They wanted everything that I did. We wrote it all out, And they later stocked Madonna's plane with my products, and like down the road and stuff like that. So they were really, it was fun. It was encouraging.
So Madonna was using your products?
Yeah, it was in the newspaper. It said she was laying on a bed of Tom Kish's cosmetics.
I love it. Does she still use your products?
Oh, I don't know. I don't. Yeah, I've
We'll have
never
to
talked to
bring
her
her in.
personally. Yeah, I've never talked to her personally.
Did she come to your salon, or they brought the products to her?
It was her girly tour, and they stocked her jet when she was
Right.
on tour.
How great is that?
Yeah.
Well, you can't get. Did you market that information to?
It was in the news, Arizona Republic,
Yes.
and all that. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it said, making up is hard to do, but the material girl may be laying on a bed of Tom Kish's cosmetics. And she's traveling between gigs.
How great!
Yeah.
Well, congratulations
Thank
on
you.
that. Okay, so now, did you work in makeup in film or in television when you were in Hollywood?
No, I'm more behind this, really behind the scenes. Like I focus really on skincare here.
Right.
And I've done people that were on shows, the top shows you see on
Yes.
TV. And with this high definition television, it's very hard for makeup artists to cover bumpy skin. And so I get rid of all the bumps.
He's looking at me
No,
while
no.
he's saying that.
No, I'm not.
Yes, you are. Look at this man. He's got the most perfect skin I've seen in ages on a male.
Thank you.
So it must be your skincare products, right? Or genetics. Okay, so let's talk about now each of these. Now, when someone comes to your salon, right? Now, your salon is, I believe the salon is in your home,
Right.
as you said, and by what you've said, it's in one wing of your home.
Yes,
So you have a huge house.
Yes.
In the Hollywood Hills.
Yes.
And say a celebrity wants to come there, or a makeup artist or anyone in the motion picture, or lay people, they have privacy there. How
It's
do you-
security gated and cameras everywhere. I bought the house from a couple of celebrities, so it was set up
Who'd you
for
buy it
that.
from? Please
Brian
say.
Austin Green from Beverly Hills 90210.
Oh, yeah.
And Vanessa Marcel that was on Vegas and General Hospital. They lived there before I bought it.
Right, right. Terrific.
And Ben Affleck lived next door when I moved in.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
And then he moved away after you moved in?
Yeah, I
He
guess
just
I
couldn't
scared
take
him
all that
off.
nuclear exposure.
Yeah.
I'll tell you. Okay, so I come to your salon, or a client comes to your salon, right? They're greeted. You greet them, or do you
Yes.
have a staff of people?
No, it's only one person. It's just one at a time.
So it's you.
Yes.
And it's incredibly individualized and personalized.
Right.
Right. All right. So you greet me at the door, and so walk us through exactly what I'm going to experience when I come to your salon.
Well, you pull
Is
up
it a
in
salon,
park.
or what? Do you prefer calling it a spa?
I call it my studio.
Your studio.
Yeah.
Okay.
My skincare studio. You pull up, and I see you in the cameras as soon as you pull up, and I greet you with a voice over the PA down in the street.
Yes.
So I'll say, "Come on up, Mr. Blasco."
Yes.
And I'll open the gate, and you'll come up, and I'll offer you something to drink, and sort of thing, and then take you right back into the studio.
Terrific.
And there's a changing room there.
You can tell that the Air Force really influenced this man. It's all these cameras and the looming voice. Come up, Mr. Blasco.
I like to greet him on the street.
I can't wait to go. That's great. Okay, so we're in your studio now. Where do we go from there after we have a drink?
Oh, I go and have you change, and then to take you right into the studio,
Okay.
into the room.
Okay. Now, what are you going to do to this face?
I've invented most of the stuff that I do. It's very unique.
Did you study chemistry?
Yeah, I self-taught. I studied Chinese medicine, herbology, naturopathy, all the different natural sciences, and
Yes.
high-tech chemical composition.
That's amazing. That's wonderful.
I love to, I used to turn on my computer in the morning, it says, "Good morning, creator." I mean, I love to create things. I call these products my children.
Yeah, I love it. That's great.
And I didn't just go to a chemist and do a line. I mean, I did them over 23 years, and working on maybe one product for as long as 3 years.
Now, you would do this in your home, or do you have a laboratory where you do
No,
your
I do that in
research?
my home.
You
Yeah.
do, in the kitchen.
Right in the kitchen.
That's what I used to do. That's how I started my line. So now, how do you know? Let's say you know what to buy. You know what chemicals you need, what components, what herbs you need. and you order all of these components from the suppliers, from the people, the manufacturers. You get all this stuff together. Where do you start?
Well, chemistry is pretty fascinating. I mean, you'll take one set of ingredients and they're kept at room temperature, and you'll heat another set of ingredients to a certain temperature, and then there's a certain timing that which they're put together.
Yes.
Now, I like to do things that they say can't be done, actually. You know, like most products have methyl and hydroxyl cellulose. My products do not. And so anybody, I think, can create a product. It's 2% of this, 3% of that, water and cellulose, and then to the degraded viscosity and thickness.
Right.
When you don't use cellulose, you have a bit more chemistry to do. And
Well, the cellulose is kind of a thickening agent.
yeah, it's
right?
cotton fibers.
That's it.
Yeah, and you can actually feel it laying on the skin. Even my thickest moisturizers will absorb into the skin, and they don't have that tacky sort of feel.
Right. Excellent. Okay, so what is your favorite product that you've created?
I love them all. Does one person love one child more than another?
I love it. Isn't that a great answer? That is such a great answer. Okay, well, which one is your oldest child?
My very first one is the Hungarian Eye Serum.
The Hungarian Eye Serum.
Right
This
here.
is it right here.
Uh-huh.
The oldest is the smallest. The most special. All right.
Yeah, and you know, it's funny, I don't know where, because you know, over a lifetime, you change over your life.
I'm going to let you open that. Aha.
It's a little plastic.
Travis, plastic. It's not all come off.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
So
Now, this
this
is
is
the eye
beautiful,
serum.
beautiful product that's been unchanged all those years because I've reformulated products as my knowledge has grown
Now,
over my
this
life.
child is Hungarian, so this came from another wife, right?
Yeah. People say, "What is the Hungarian part?" I say,
Right.
"I'm Hungarian. That's the part."
You are Hungarian.
Yeah. Now this isn't a gel or a cream, and that's the finest molecule of moisturizer known to man, hyaluronic acid. That's what that raw hyaluronic acid in the laboratory feels
Now, I'm
like.
putting this right over my Max Factor pancake. And we'll see.
And put a little bit on your lips. It feels really good.
On the
your
lips, too.
Yeah.
You know, it feels very good.
Not tacky, gummy. That'll absorb. You know, the gels and creams lay on top. So it's.
You know, now it doesn't feel as though, I mean, it has a beautiful feel. It doesn't feel as though it's going to remove the makeup. It's not.
No, your makeup goes over that beautifully.
Yeah.
It won't ball or move the makeup.
So this is definitely a product that you can use. If you're able to use it, you say as an eye serum and on the lips. You can use it on other areas of the face as well, right?
Do you know, this is fascinating that you just put that on because I remember years ago when I did this, somebody put it on a television show in the morning, I think one of the morning television shows in Arizona, and on the monitor they could see the difference.
I'm looking at the monitor.
Yeah,
Right.
and so it'll be interesting to see,
Yeah.
you know, when you do the whole thing.
Yeah, you know, I definitely. Okay, so this is the first one. This is your oldest product. This is Hungarian Eye Serum. Why first?
Just the eye area, you know, is a problem area for even young people. Like
Right.
at 20 years old, you start getting lines around your eyes.
Right.
And this is for puffiness too.
Yes. Yeah, this is terrific. It feels good. It really feels good, and it's smooth. It feels as though it's smoothing out. Okay, so this is the Hungarian eye cream. Next,
The next one that I did was the Sea Cleanser.
Sea Cleanser.
And you know how fun it was to name these products too.
Yeah,
You know?
that's a great name. It's from aloe, seaweed, and kelp.
Yep. Algae, seaweed, and kelp.
I smell it.
This I was at the beach in Malibu for one weekend. I was still living in Arizona,
Ooh,
but just
wow.
vacationing, and I got the idea for the name from
Is
the
there a
ocean
little
there.
Eucalyptic.
Eucalyptus, yeah.
Yeah, and maybe a little menthol.
The very base of that is sucrose cocaine. It's a Japanese ester of sugar.
Sucrose what?
Sucrose cocaine. It's a Japanese ester of sugar.
But you said sucrose cocaine. I was going to say,
So-
this will go over big in the Hollywood community. All right. Terrific.
But that's a great cleanser.
And this is a cleanser for regular makeup?
for normal skin. It'll remove makeup and wash with it, and you can shave with it.
You can shave with it as
Yeah.
well.
I got a
Is
free-
there silicone? Is there any silicone ingredients in this?
No, no.
So it's all natural. All.
It's I don't really prescribe to one, like all natural, or
Right.
I use the best of all the sciences.
Yeah, there's the eucalyptus oil.
Yeah, high-tech chemical composition, Chinese medicine, herbology, Actually, I have the phrase integrated skincare.
Yes.
And because that's what this is. I integrate all the sciences. You know, you don't have to pick one. It doesn't have to be
Right.
Chinese or Ayurvedic or just, you know, usually people will study something and then they're right and you're wrong because you've studied something else.
Right.
I say they're all right, and I take knowledge from each of those sciences.
Yes.
And integrate them into the products. I want the best of everything.
Yeah, absolutely. Tell me about the Chinese sciences, and which exactly of those have you incorporated into what?
Oh,
you've
I've
created?
used white ginger. It's a Chinese. The extracts are become medicines.
Yes.
A lot of things like oregano
Yes.
and turmeric and those things that are in your kitchen that you
Right,
cook with.
right.
If you take the extracts of those, the oils, then they become medicines.
Yes. And they are able to be absorbed into the skin.
Oh yeah. Uh-huh.
And each of these have been determined to do something specific to the
Oh
skin.
yeah. Mm-hmm.
And of all of the herbs from which you derive the oils, which is that one which is considered the most beneficial to the skin? And in what way is it beneficial? In your opinion?
Well, it depends on what type of skin. If you're oily, acnetic, then you want eucalyptus. You want tea tree oil.
Because it's a more drying type of oil?
They're natural antibiotics and antiseptics.
Right.
And they're not necessarily drying in a product in the raw form. They would be.
Right. You know, you really have delved into this. I mean, you really have taken this very, very seriously, and you've really studied this. I can see, to the point where I'm intrigued, because I come from the old school, where we slap some Nivea on the skin and before we do the makeup, and it's like skincare. All the skin is a natural barrier; it doesn't absorb anything. But lately, I mean, obviously, science has proven that thinking wrong, and that the skin does absorb quite a few
Absolutely.
things.
And I don't know, I always believed that, I long before American doctors said,
Yes.
they used to say, oh, it's all baloney,
Yeah.
use dial soap, that sort of thing.
Right.
And,
Ivory soap.
but I believed what I was studying.
99 and 100% pure.
Yeah.
Right.
Soap leaves a film and,
Right.
look at your shower doors from soap.
That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. I think of that when I'm cooking, and I go to clean the pots, and I look to see what kind of residue is left on the bowls, and whether or not that residue can be easily washed away with water to determine whether or not I really want to eat it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's like if you're making a salad and you're making a dressing, and you make that dressing, and you toss it, and after you're done with the salad, obviously, and you look at the bowl, if you can't take that bowl to the sink and rinse it off and have all that dressing come off the bowl, I don't want the dressing. Because that to me tells me it's going to also coat the inside of my body the same way, more or less.
Right.
You know what I mean? So you're taking that same kind of thinking in thinking from a purity point of view, and you're putting it into your
Right.
skincare products.
Yep.
Next, what do we have here?
This cleanser right here is hydrogen peroxide and tea tree oil.
Hydrogen peroxide cleanser. So
Yeah.
this is also a whitening or a bleaching type of cleanser, would you say?
No,
No?
it's for oily acne skin.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, and it really makes the skin. It's very strong. I mean, you have to be very oily or acne.
Let me try this. Everything has a nice safety
I made this
seal.
originally for a doctor's office that
Did
I
you?
was working with in Arizona. Yeah.
Ooh, it has a very medicinal smell to it.
Yeah.
But it's not a distasteful smell. It's really nice. It's kind of it's kind of refreshing.
And it
I
has
like that. It's
the
very
same
clean.
the same base as this cleanser here.
You've really got me going here now. Let me, because I'm intrigued with this. This is a very pretty package. Check this out, folks. These are
Those are essential fatty acids, phospholipids, and ceramides.
and
Very healing to the skin. It's like vitamins.
a little capsule. And how do you just kind of break this off? is what
Yes,
you do?
just twist
break
that
that
off.
off and you squeeze it out. And where do you put this?
On your face, you can put on your eyes, everywhere. Yeah.
And what does this do?
It's a booster for the skin. It infuses vitamins into the skin, and it's great for sunburn, windburn, even injuries, because it'll coat that, so because your body heals from the inside then.
Right. So this is a vitamin, an external vitamin application.
Yeah,
so
vitamins and moisturizers. Yeah.
Very interesting. Love the look of that. Love it, love it, love it. And this right here, this is a kind of a medical-looking bottle here. Bleaching gel. Tell me about this.
That's an 8% acid. It's a 2.5% bleaching agent. And so the acid sort of thins the skin down and the bleach goes in deeper.
That has kind of a little, that's very medicinal smelling. But, you know, all of his things, all your things, Tom, have the aroma of something that really works.
Yeah, they're truthful.
Yeah.
And what you're smelling is the actual ingredients, not covered up by perfume or an alternative fragrance or something that people will fragrance their products.
This, honestly, this has a very light, kind of like, I hate to say the word, collodion. All right? But a pleasant, if you could take collodion, which is ether and gun cotton, and make it pleasant to smell, this is what it would smell like. This is great. You can tell when you smell these products that they work, seriously. I can't wait to have you work on me here. Let me see. This looks like a mask, right? Is this a,
that's a
this is
scrub. Yeah, soft maize scrub.
And again, I'm looking at natural ingredients here. Cornmeal, LO, and
this has glycolic acid and cornmeal. Cornmeal under microscope looks like little loofah sponges. And so this is melting the skin and at the same time polishing it or buffing it.
Look at this. Whoa, again, you see, again, you know, it's the chemist in me. Everything I pick up, I smell, because
and that smells like the ingredients.
Yeah, absolutely. You have not hidden any of the aroma of the ingredients at all, and you can tell that it again is very medicinal, and it works. Again, I like when you said truthful.
Yeah,
that's good. Now there's a change. All right, there was. You know what? I was sitting at a doctor's office the other day, and I was reading a magazine, and I don't know where that's gone, but there was one article on skincare products, and it was so misleading and so general, and it said the same thing 2 times. And I called my technical director over, who had driven me over to the doctor's office, and I said, "Look at this, Doug." I said, "Read this." I think Travis was there. Travis Pates, the makeup artist. I said, "Read this," and they used this. They were saying exactly the same thing 2 times, using 2 different words. And I don't have it here with me, but I'll find it. And but that's misleading.
Yeah,
that's misleading. I don't see, from talking to you and from smelling all of these things and seeing, you know, who you are and your sincerity here, that there's anything at all misleading about your products.
No, I'm very proud of them.
And for that reason alone, I want to try them, and I think everybody should. That's nice. That has a nice sweet aroma. Now, this is Hungarian water. Oh, can you drink it?
Somebody said to me one time, they said, "Yeah, why is it called Hungarian water? Did you bring the water over from Hungary?" And I said, "No, of course not." But it's get the word name Hungarian water from an old, I think it was like royalty or something. I had read it in a book. She used a Hungarian water that was full of vitamins and minerals and stuff.
I see.
And this is
the idea of calling this Hungarian water comes actually from the reality.
Princess, yeah.
And where did she get the water with the vitamins?
From Hungary, probably.
From Hungary, right? Yeah. But did she add things to it to concoct it?
Yeah,
right. So this is terrific, and there's all sorts of wonderful things. Birch and birch bark extract and ginkgo biloba.
Yeah, no, this comes in
white
with all your
ginger,
Chinese medicine.
angelica, and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, and it goes on and on and on. And What about preservatives? I see some preservatives down here at the bottom. Are these preservatives that
They're-
you've approved as being benign and
Yeah.
and that
They're food grade preservatives.
food grade? Mm-hmm. Very good.
Yeah.
And what do you do with this? You spray it over the.
Yeah, you spray that on. That's a toner
Mm-hmm.
and,
Can this be done-
and antibacterial.
Okay. Now, say I've done a makeup and it's powdered down. Can I use this to kind
Yes,
of take off that powder look?
Yep.
Good. Okay, Hungarian water for you. And we've got Hungarian fixer. No, elixir, I'm sorry.
Uh-huh.
This is, how do I put my glasses on there? For
Sounds like something you drink, doesn't
Yeah,
it?
yeah. it looks-
Again.
I
Hungarian
love
water, Hungarian
smelling
elixir.
these because they are so different. The aroma is so different.
This one's thick like milk, and it's really. I say this is like my mother used to make tomato juice, cold pressed. You know, they're living
Wow.
ingredients, and
You made these in your kitchen. I mean, you started and you experimented.
yes,
Because
they're,
so
they're
many
made. They're
people-
made in big laboratories now, of
Right,
course.
right. No, obviously. But you know, so many people who go to companies that are private label companies.
Right.
And they say, okay, show me what you got. And they'll have this whole shelf of all the skincare products and all this and that. And they go, oh, well, let me see. And they try this. And I go, oh, I like that. That'll be my moisturizer. And then they get another thing. And, oh, I like that. That'll be my cleanser. Right? But you didn't do that.
No.
No. You really delved in there.
And even back, if you go back to when I was 22 years old, when I sold other people's products while I was developing my products develop them over a lifetime. So if I didn't have a particular product, I would sell other people's products. And I would never put my label on other people's products. I didn't feel that wasn't honest. So there would be it either had another name or no label at all.
I had a young lady who actually opened a makeup school who used to buy my products, and she would put her label right over my label. What would that say about our makeup school? This here is.
I just couldn't stand in front of somebody
No.
and say, this is my product,
Yeah,
and
that
have
would
it
be
be
phony
somebody
baloney.
else's. Yeah.
Yeah, that's terrific.
Which one is that one?
This is it's called Ritual.
Yeah, that's my newest one.
Okay,
I
what
love
is
that.
what is Vitis
Ventura.
vinifera?
Extract, yeah. That's a blend of citruses. It's a vitamin C moisturizer.
Vitamin C moisturizer, and
And with grapeseed extract.
grape seed extract. That's kind of you were ahead of your time there with the grape seed.
Yes.
A lot of the companies now are using grape seed.
Yeah, when I was using it, nobody was. But actually, that's what this is right here. This is the name for grapeseed extract, the scientific.
I see. Excellent. Now, what does grape seed extract do to the skin?
It's 50 times stronger than vitamin E and 20 times stronger than C. And when I used grapeseed extract in the very beginning, I wanted to use it for the reason they're using vitamin C nowadays. But it wasn't well known to everybody. And so I used both. I used the Exorbiline concentrate, the transdermal vitamin C, along with the grapeseed extract. So it was like a double using both of them. And it turns out that the grapeseed extract, this happened quite by mistake, the vitamin C lasts 20 times longer. It doesn't oxidize. So you buy the vitamin C products out there, they oxidize after a while. They look good in the beginning, but then they oxidize fairly rapidly. This one lasts 20 times longer because of the grapeseed extract.
That's very interesting. You know, I've talked to a lot of people, you know, about skincare, and I can always tell, you know, when I'm talking to somebody who really doesn't know what they're talking about. You are not one of those people. Yeah, I'm very impressed with your ability to understand the chemistry of what goes into your product. And obviously, you would understand it because you created it.
Right.
You didn't just pick it off a shelf like most people do.
Even the laboratories that I use, one of the owners of the laboratory told me, he said, Tom, you're the only client we have that we let talk to our chemist. Because
That says something.
He said, you make all of our products better for everybody. So they obviously learned from me.
They're taking your ideas, Tom.
Yeah.
Be careful.
I know. Well, it's kind of hard to stop that, isn't it?
Yeah. Have you ever had anybody work for you that took your ideas and ran off? And
Yes, I did.
you want to talk about that?
Well,
I can't count how many times that's happened to me. In a way, you know, it's kind of flattering, you know, that people will want to copy what you do.
yeah.
But it's just annoying sometimes when the people who do the copying have no creativity whatsoever in their own right and kind of bastardize the beauty and integrity of what you really,
Right.
are doing.
This has my heart and soul in them, and that's really not to be, like you use the word, bastardized.
Right.
I don't jump on any opportunity that there is either.
Right.
Necessarily, it has to fit in with what I believe.
Well, it takes all types, doesn't it? I just, this is balancing
Which one is that
cream.
one?
This
Oh,
is
balancing,
citrus bergamot.
Yeah, that's a medium weight moisturizer.
This is a moisturizer.
Yeah. That one's I've had out about 12 years
These
too.
are great. They're very, as I said, I'm building a little wall.
Little
here.
pile of them.
Yeah. This is terrific. They all smell, longevity, they all smell so good. Longevity with green tea and grape seed extract. You're big on the grape seed.
Yeah.
And
Now this one here was inspired by a company called La Prairie. Their night
Oh, yeah.
moisturizer.
Oh, yeah.
So I got some ideas from that, and they use some ingredients that I don't like, and I took those bad ingredients out, deformulated the cream.
well, they may not be bad for La Prairie, but for you didn't like
Not,
it.
yeah, for me.
You did, you did.
I thought of a different way to utilize,
Right.
which we all do with products, don't you think? We take the good and the, good thing from
Right.
this one and that one and
Right.
sort of create different
Yeah,
products. with them.
absolutely, absolutely. And this is called longevity.
Yeah, that's a shea butter-based
Great name.
moisturizer.
Great name, great name. And correction with vitamin A. What does this correct?
That's your anti-aging one. That does everything Retin A does without the side effects, and it works underneath the skin.
Can you inject it?
It actually it injects itself into your skin. It's a water-based polypeptide vitamin A. It actually splits the cell and
Whoa.
works underneath the skin.
Splits the cell. And we're going back to that nuclear. You're a very interesting man, if I may say. Very, very interesting. You have great intensity, and I can sense that you really have put a lot of yourself into this product.
Thank you.
So it makes me really want to try this and to visit your salon and try a little skincare treatment. Maybe we'll go there, huh? And can we
Yeah,
visit your
definitely.
salon?
I
Can
would
we bring
love
our
you to come.
cameras to your salon or your studio
I would like that. sure.
and photograph a treatment? That would be great.
Absolutely. Now you see these capsules here?
These are vitamins.
Yeah.
These are vitamins. He's got vitamins. Go ahead.
This biotin, niacin, paradoxin, and grapeseed extract. This is brings the nutrients up to the surface of the skin, like you went out and ran around the block. Just gets that, and the niacin that's in there is about the amount of a banana, so it's not too
Really?
much where you get flush from
In
it.
the entire jar.
Yeah,
In
pill,
each.
one
Oh,
pill.
in one pill. I see.
So it'd be the amount of a banana.
Got a lot of bananas in here. This is terrific.
Yeah.
I-
And you see how you can see the leaves almost in there. These are not heat distilled, and so they're still alive. This is I utilize Chinese medicine to make these.
Yes. Yes.
What I learned with that craft, and so these, and they don't upset your stomach or anything.
Now, let me ask you this. There are different rules and regulations, FDA, from skincare, which is topical, to nutrients, which are ingested.
Right.
To what degree do you have to work chemically differently when you create, and how do you create a vitamin product?
Well, with vitamins, I got a real education because I studied that before I made that vitamin, and there really aren't a lot of regulations for vitamins. There are now. They're starting to implement some of them.
Let me
But-
do that. You're saying that there are not a lot of regulations for
With
making
vitamins.
vitamins?
Yeah, not like there are with skincares. If you make claims with skincare, you have to do, you have to be like sunscreens are FDA approved, so you have to do stability testing.
Hang on. This intrigues me. This is put into the body, and they have no regulations
No.
on this?
Nope.
So how do you make a vitamin? I mean, you go to a company that manufactures vitamins.
Right.
And you say, I want this in it, and I want this in it, and I want this and that and this and that.
Right.
And they just do that. And then it's their responsibility to make certain that they're following.
Actually, quality control is my responsibility.
It's your responsibility.
And I wear many hats, I say, but one of them is quality control. So there's many times I have to part ways from labs and things
Right.
because they'll make something, a product, say the first time you make this, they'll make it right.
Right.
And the next time they'll make it
Yeah,
differently.
they won't. Yeah, exactly.
So you have to constantly be
And they won't tell
on guard.
you. They won't tell you.
No, they'll do it to save money.
Yeah. And they won't tell you, and they'll say, "Oh, well, he won't notice."
Right.
They do that all the time.
Yeah.
He won't notice, but you do notice if you're really into what you're
I
doing.
do. I watch it, and so I constantly, and these are made all over the country and in Canada, and so nobody really owns me. I don't have any
Right.
turnkey situations.
Right. Now, you don't fill these capsules yourself, right? I mean,
No.
this is something you do. So this is actually made in a pharmaceutical environment, in a laboratory that
in a
makes
clean
vitamins.
room and all that.
Right,
Yes, of course.
exactly. Oh, that's very intriguing.
The integrity that I put into making these products is higher than what they would require you to be. You know, so more like cosmeceutical
Yes, yes,
level.
yes.
So
So-
even these are sealed. You just peeled that off.
Yes.
Just so they're sealed on the inside and they're sealed on the outside.
Right.
So no air gets in at all
Yes.
and dilutes the potency of all the products.
Yes, yes.
I used to seal them like food.
Yes.
You know, the whole thing shrink wrapped
Yeah.
and then air take it out and
Right.
sealed on the
Yeah,
inside.
pull the vacuum, the air out. The vitamin thing is a terrific idea. Really, I mean, it's all great, and obviously you put a lot of effort in and a lot of thought into everything that you've done, and it makes me all the more want to come to your studio. And this is Century. This is what? This is a
This is a small molecule transdermal treatment. There's two treatments in the line that are transdermal, the vitamin A and the vitamin C. This is your day treatment, and then the vitamin A is for night. So in my line, you do 2 things for day and 2 things for night. You do small molecule treatment and then large molecule on top. So it would be either a moisturizer or a sunscreen on top.
Did you say this is a small molecule?
Yeah.
This one.
That
I can
in
see
medical-
that. I can see that it has more fluidity to it.
Yeah, in medical tests, this stays in the skin 3 days. 3 days later, it's still inside your skin.
It's kind of a gel. Seems like it's like a
Liposome jelly, yeah.
Uh-huh. Well,
And that-
again, the aroma is, you want to eat it, you know? I'm hungry. I haven't had breakfast yet this morning. You don't happen to have a spoon here, do you? Wow.
But see, you'll never see a texture of something like that. I haven't seen any texture a cream like
Yeah,
that anywhere.
it looks like a mousse, you know? It's really delicious. Great. Fantastic. Put this right here. And we are now down to our little atom bomb. I love this. Now let's talk more about this. The package, the container is very intriguing.
Yeah, the bottle, when I made it, I was so proud of this particular item, and I got the bottle made in Italy. I had, there's a special ovens that bake, they're in New Jersey, that bake this half-dawning baked enamel.
Right.
It's kind of rubbery.
Right.
And then I had the name gold leafed on the top.
This is an expensive container.
There's 2 countries and 3 states involved in that container.
Wow. Now, how does this work again? Does it?
You just press the
I see you
button.
press down, and then you turn here, and you have the whole thing comes up.
Yep.
Oh, I see. And
Just
you
put a
can
few
just
drops.
and you can just push on the top, and a drop will come out. That's terrific. You know, I worked for Grape for a little while when I was a kid, and she had a similar type of thing. In fact, it was the first time that I ever seen a container similar to this, but it was squared, with a dropper like that. Very medicinal, you know, very medicinal. Revlon's got something I think called Resurrection or something of that nature, where they use a dropper, and it's really convenient. But this is a beautiful product, a beautiful container, and how long does it take for you to see results from this?
This is very scientifically unique in the fact that it's stabilized with Centosan, which I have read a study on that.
What is Centosan?
It stabilizes you take a 12% acid solution, and if you don't use cellulose, how do you hold all that together and separate like vinegar and oil?
Right.
So I didn't want to use cellulose again, so I don't like that gummy texture,
right.
tacky texture. So I had read this study, Centosan, and I used it in test, and then I liked it, and incorporated it in the product. I didn't see that ingredient ever again anywhere else. I just read it in a study till just recently,
I've
in the
never
past
heard
5
of it.
years. It's in the
What is it
drugstores
from?
now.
What is it? How do you, what
It's
is
a
it
pill
derived
now.
from?
They have it in a pill form, just that pure ingredient. You take it and it coagulates the fat if you eat pizza or something, so it doesn't absorb into your body.
Well, there's a medication that you take. My doctor gave it to me, Dr. Pazalski, and he said, if you know you're going to have a fatty meal, eat one of these like an hour or two before you eat the meal.
That's what this does.
And it must coat the inside of the intestine so that the body doesn't absorb the fat or the cholesterol.
Yeah, it holds all the fat
And-
together.
Yeah, and so this does the same thing?
It holds all those acids together.
I see. And you can apply this over the entire
This
face?
for acne, ingrown hairs, and I sell it in a little kit.
Well, how does
peel
it help
kit.
an ingrown hair?
The acids are a very fine molecule, so they go down in the pore and push everything up out of the follicle.
I see. So it stops the inflammation?
Mm-hmm, yeah.
I see. Terrific. Does it reduce redness, like surface redness? Did you hear that, the ingredients, people are putting Visine on their skin whenever they have redness or they have a blemish?
No, I haven't heard of that.
Yeah, my eye doctor, Dr. Wes Whedon, he says if you got a pimple, just take a drop of Visine and put it on the skin, and it takes the red out. The same way that it takes the red out of the eyes.
Yeah, I'd be more concerned about getting the infection out.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I think what it does is it's a vasodilator, not dilator, but a constrictor.
Yeah.
So it actually pulls the...
Like cortisone does that.
Yeah, exactly. It pulls the vessels together so that it's less red, right? Squeezing the blood away from the
I'm going to
area.
have to try that. That's interesting.
Yeah. This is true. So this kind of works in very much the same way. But actually, this removes the inflammation and well, of all of these products, which is your best?
I call the Century Vitamin C and Grape Extract, I call that the jewel in the crown.
Which
I've
one?
never had one jar returned ever.
Which one is that?
Century, the vitamin C. That's
The Century.
yeah, right here.
I love the name. And again, this is a moisturizer.
It's a treatment.
A treatment.
Transdermal treatment that does not wash off after you put it on.
I see. And vitamin C and grapeseed extract. This is so incredibly interesting, and you are so knowledgeable. You really are. You're very knowledgeable, and a pleasure to talk to.
Well, thank you.
I don't talk to that many people involved in skincare because honestly, I've kind of always somewhat looked at it from a makeup point of view as being a little black magic, and being aesthetic. The word aesthetic itself, it means something ethereal and not quite existing, there but not there. But you've actually created a skincare line that works.
Yeah, I feel like they're medicines. Like they do something specific, each
Right.
one.
You're kind of a mad doctor of sorts.
I wanted to be a doctor when I was younger.
You could have been.
Yeah,
I
love
think
science
I think you agree. You could have been a doctor. There's two people that I've interviewed so far that have impressed me with their ability and knowledge of chemistry. Gil Mosco is one who runs GM Foam Company. He makes foam latex materials for the industry, and you are the other.
Thank you.
Yeah, congratulations.
Thank you, Mr. Blasco.
It's my pleasure to have you here today.
I appreciate it.
All right, Tom. And we're going to be taking a tour of Tom's fantastic skincare studio. And don't you go away, because you're really going to want to see this. We'll be right back.